compass travelers! Have you ever thought about going to India? Well, before you go, check out this footage of my experience and my trip in India. I went to New Delhi, I went to Jaipur, the Pink City. I was there during the Holi Festival, so this was the Festival of Colors. And then I also got to go to the Taj Mahal. All these places were incredible, and I highly recommend you going to India during the Holi Festival or the Color Festival. It is something that's very different and you'll not see anywhere else. I went to Jaipur for the Holi Festival, which is a great place to celebrate. New Delhi is the capital of India, and it is an extremely busy place. A lot of these destinations are busy. There's lots of people there. So I would go with a group, I would go with some friends. Also, I got to go to a lot of festivals. So there's festivals that happen with palm readers, rope walkers, and elephants. And then also before you go, it's really good to learn about the culture. Hinduism is the main religion there, and Hinduism is an incredible religion. And before you go, you should learn a little bit about it, because a lot of the architecture, a lot of the traditions, a lot of the culture is based around that religion. It's really cool to kind of learn about the gods and the goddesses in the Hindu religion before you go. They're a huge significant piece in India, so check it out. India. What is it like to be in India during the Holi Festival or the Color Festival? One of the most colorful, busy, and unique places in the world is India. Cows walk the streets and are seen as holy, and festivals have elephants colorfully painted. The best place to celebrate Holi Festival was in Jaipur, the Pink City. They had people throwing colors all over the street and had huge communities of people in the middle of the city where people danced all day and watched dance entertainment. Everywhere on the streets, you could buy colorful powders in packs to throw. The markets and streets were filled with people drenched in all different kinds of colors. There is thousands of people that celebrate the Holi Festival. What is the significance of the Holi Festival? Holi is the festival of colors, and it celebrates love and spring. It celebrates the eternal and divine love of the god Radha and Krishna, which is a significant god in the Hindu religion. Holi Festival celebrates as a reminder of the triumph of good over evil, reflecting the Hindu belief that faith and devotion leads to salvation and can be attained by anyone who believes it. The 10 top Holi wishes for everyone on Holi Festival is wishing you a very happy and colorful Holi. Happy Holi to you and your loved ones. May the splash of colors bring joy to you and your family. May the colors of joy, happiness, and prosperity fill you and your family. The Holi Festival is celebrated as a way to welcome in spring and also is seen as a new beginning where people can release all their inhibitions and start fresh. It is said that during Holi Festival, the gods turn a blind eye, and it's one of the few times extremely devout Hindus allow themselves to let loose. While I was at one of the Holi festivals, I was actually dancing, and a lot of the men that were there would come up to me and my friend, and they wanted to take pictures with us, and they wanted to dance with us, and they wanted to put us on their shoulders. And there was a moment, though, where I was away from my friends, and a group of men were picking me up on their shoulders and started walking away with me. And one of my guy friends had to come run up and tell them to put me down. So that was one of the weirdest experiences in India that I had. It's definitely a little bit of a culture shock coming from America. It's not the safest place for women. There's a lot of issues with domestic violence there. A lot of the times, the women that leave the house, they will be accompanied by a male escort, which was very, very strange for me. It is such a beautiful place that has a lot of amazing things, a lot of amazing foods, and a lot of amazing culture, and a lot of amazing spirituality there, and yoga, and some beautiful places. But the dark side of India is it can be very poor, it can be unsafe for women, and it can be pretty filled with trash. There's not that great of a trash system there. So, the environment is definitely, there's a lot of trash on the side of the road and a lot of homeless. I also noticed a lot of the women would be wearing saris in India, these beautiful silky dresses, and oftentimes they would cover their hair and faces. This was a common thing to do in places of worship and temples. When I went to the Taj Mahal, I had to wear a sari, and I covered my legs, shoulders, ankles, and arms and head. This was part of the respect for the culture and the tradition and the religion. But it was definitely a culture shock coming from America. There was also incredible architecture, beautiful buildings and temples that was nothing like I have ever seen in America. The way the buildings are shaped is so different, and it's beautiful, and you feel a sense of spirituality in these temples. You feel a sense of connecting with God, with the energy, connection with energy. And I took a yoga course, and in my yoga course I learned a lot about the Hindu religion and how yoga is connected to the Hindu religion, and yoga stems from it. And it was really neat learning about the karmas and the dharmas, and how in Hindu religion they believe that you have multiple lives, and that this is not your only life, and that throughout each life you are actually clearing out your karmas and your dharmas. Your karmas are certain types of adversities that you have to go through, maybe because in a past life you had you did something wrong, and now in this life you have to kind of redeem yourself. And then the dharmas are more your purposes in life, and what your purpose is, and what your kind of karmic lessons or things that you have to fulfill in this lifetime. So it was very cool being able to learn about this in my yoga class, and then come to India and see a lot of the traditions and the gods that I learned about. A lot of like Krishna and Ganesha. All of these gods were very much part of the culture, and very much part of the architecture. The temples, the festivals were very revolved around the Hindu gods and culture. So it was really incredible to see that. Another thing was the night scene was very different than America. Clubs would blare Bollywood music and Indian rap, and they had shot glasses that they would stack up on each other and light fire on these shot glasses. It was a very crazy night scene, I remember, and a lot of the ways to get to places, you would go on tuk-tuks. Tuk-tuks are basically these small little like scooter bikes. So someone's scootering or biking in the front, and then it's like a bike taxi, and then you sit in the back. So that was an amazing way to kind of go around and explore this beautiful place. And a lot of the times, wherever you went, you would have these intricate meals with all different types of sauces and spices. So they'd put it in all different types of little cups around you, and you would eat it with a piece of bread. You would try all the different spices. And we went to a festival in particular that had like this big festival that had tightrope walkers, and they had people that were doing palm reading, and they had people that were doing these certain types of dances, these snake dances, and people that would do henna on your hands, the henna tattoo artists. And it was the coolest thing to see. It felt like it was straight out of a movie, but in real life. And being in such a different place gave me such a different perspective on, wow, some people live their lives completely different than me. And it was just so cool to see the differences and learn the cultures and the traditions and how they viewed life and their perspective of what this life is about. And it really opens up your mind to a whole different world of how you could live your life. On these tuk-tuks that we would take around, a lot of the tuk-tuk drivers were very kind people and easy to talk to, and a lot of times I would talk to these tuk-tuk drivers and we would have great conversations. I remember one time there was this man that was telling me about his daughter, and his daughter moved to America, and how his daughter was just experiencing prom for the first time. And then I spoke to another couple that were henna tattoo artists, and they were talking about how they had 3 daughters, and the 3 daughters actually, they had arranged marriages. And he was talking all about how arranged marriages was a huge custom there in India. And so it's basically part of life there is the family, the parents will pick the spouse for the daughter or the son. Sometimes even before meeting them, they'll get married. They'll meet them for the first time, or they'll sit down with their family members and meet them a couple times before getting married. But it's really the family's choice to pick in the Hindu religion a lot of the times who you will marry. So this couple was telling me about how they did that for their daughters, and it was just very interesting to see a whole different way of life, because for them it's a lot about how we have multiple lifetimes and how this lifetime is very specific to a certain dharmas and karmas and things that you're living out. In the Hindu religion, there's a lot of different kind of hierarchical structures in a way because of the kind of lifetimes that you've passed to be in a certain life. So it's very interesting, and they also believe that like elephants is a symbol of Ganesha. So Ganesh is like a symbol of the earth and of prosperity and abundance, and is like the elephant figure represents that. So that's why elephants are seen as such holy things in India, and that's why they paint them, and that's why they're everywhere in festivals. So a lot of India is very much revolved around Hindu religion. So if you go to India, I would definitely study and learn about the Hindu religion as well, because then you'll understand kind of the concepts and the meanings that you're seeing, and understand a whole deeper level of what's going on there.